Welcome to the pod. You're listening to What the Reality with me, Cassia Roberts. We're back with another video. New hair, who this? What is going on, you guys? I just finished watching Rhode Island, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Love Island USA. We have some things to talk about. I have not watched Next Gen NYC yet. I'm going to wait until, well, not next week, because next week update, I will not be here for next week's episode, and it's like 4th of July, so you guys honestly shouldn't be here, but I will not be here. I'll be in Atlanta, and I'm actually going to be going to some of the hot spots in Atlanta of our Real Housewives of Atlanta girls. So I'm planning on I'm gonna try to hit these 3 restaurants. Can you guess? Obviously, Slutty Vegan. I've heard amazing things about Slutty Vegan. Am I a vegan? No. Am I a slut? No. But I want to try it. I want to support Pinky Cole. Pinky Cole is my girl. I actually really enjoy her. I really like her. So Slutty Vegan's on the list. Guys, Nana's Chicken and Waffles. The menu looks insane. I'm definitely gonna have to split that with my friend. Like, the menu for Nana's Chicken and Waffles is literally insane. I'm excited to try it. What else is on my list? I'm just being messy here. I want a good hot dog. Where do I go in Atlanta for a good hot dog? The Hot Dog Factory. I'm going to go to Dennis's Hot Dog Factory because I want a good hot dog. I didn't get a hot dog for Juneteenth, and I didn't get a hot dog, and I'm not getting one for 4th of July unless I go to the Hot Dog Factory. And I want a good old hot dog. So I am going to those 3 restaurants. I might be reporting, like, I might record the videos and like post on my TikTok, like, as a journalist. But I am super excited to be visiting those 3 spots, and yeah, I'm gonna report live. I'm not a huge chicken and waffle person. I used to be, like, 2021, I feel like, but I am excited to try Nana's Chicken and Waffles because her menu looks insane. I got to look at the menu for Slutty Vegan and look, because the thing is, I can get down with the vegans. I don't know if I can get down with the sluts, but I can get down with the vegans. Like, I like vegan and vegetarian food. Like, I like the beans, the mushrooms. So I'm excited. I hope she has like some fried mushroom or something on it that's like reminiscent of a chicken wing, because they say certain mushrooms, it's like the enoki mushroom, it tastes like a chicken wing. But I'm super excited. I will let you guys know in the next episode how that goes. How are you guys doing? I just finished watching those 3. Amazing episodes. We're going to get right into it, but first we have reality topics, and we have, like, honestly a lot of them. Just starting off, I did just get this Google alert from TMZ that apparently Amanda is not returning for season 11 of Summer House. I was also reading, I don't know if it was Bravo and Cocktails, it was another news source, but obviously we know Wes Wilson is not returning. I talked about that in my last podcast episode, but I'm hearing that KJ also decided not to return, and obviously with that, Dara is not returning. So I'm hearing, as far as the cast, because they are supposed to be filming this upcoming weekend for 4th of July. That's normally the weekend they film, but I'm also hearing production is telling them we're not going to film this weekend. You guys stay home. We still got to iron out some details. Sierra was not on the list. As far as the list, it was Kyle, Carl, Jesse, Bailey. I'm hearing Ben was not asked back. He did not really merge. And then obviously Mia was asked back. I'm hearing it's possibly going to be 6 new newbies. 2 to 3 of them are Mia's friends. 1 of them may be Bailey's friends. And then there's 2 people that Kyle and Carl may know, and Jesse. But yeah, as we know, Amanda, Wes not coming back. And I don't think Sierra's coming back. Obviously, Dancing with the Stars is starting very soon, or at least training for Dancing with the Stars is starting very soon. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be in LA, because I remember she was on the red carpet, I think, for the Culture Awards, something that goes on at Bravo's, and they were like, West Coast or East Coast? And she was like, currently West Coast, because I gotta get trained for Dancing with the Stars. So I don't think she's gonna be concerned at all with returning to Summer House, and I don't think she should be. I said I don't really see a world where Sierra returns, even if Amanda and Wes weren't returning, because I'm like, what is the point of you returning? It's kind of like you like elevate, you kind of reach a certain status quo. It's kind of like having Paige DeSorbo, but like she left Summer House and like she's in all these amazing things. Ariana, she came back for 1 more season after the whole scandal, and now she's like in the host of Love Island. It's just like, all of that stuff. Speaking of Ariana, we gotta talk about the tomfoolery that is going on over there in Los Angeles while Ariana is serving in Fiji. Her ex, Tom Sandoval, former, cast member of Vanderpump Rules. That is the story we have to really talk about. Apparently has a restraining order against his ex-girlfriend, because I was like, wait, does he have one on him? And then this is really coming at all an interesting time. I would say, is this the time to pick up the VPR cameras, like the OG? We got this going on. We got James expecting a baby. There was something else going on in the Vanderpump universe, but yeah, so basically Tom has a temporary restraining order against his ex, Victoria Lee Robinson. There was a heated dispute. Actually, TMZ has the video. If you guys haven't seen the video, he got really close in her face. They were having some argument. Her dad was there. He was also arguing with the dad, got really close into her face. They were going back and forth, arguing about something. The dad had called him something, and Tom basically pushed him in the open lit fire. Literally, and there's so many tweets where it's like the irony of him pushing someone's dad in a open flame, and Ariana currently being in Fiji hosting around an open fire pit is insane. Like, it's just like insane irony. But there's also a video TMZ has obtained of him packing up his stuff, moving out. We don't know what led to this huge dispute yet. I will be following this story because, like I said, the TMZ video is wild. But we have Victoria Lee Robinson literally yelling out at him during his moving out, like, I effing hate you, all of this stuff. But yeah, so he was granted a temporary restraining order. Apparently, I'm like, I don't know what led to the big blow up. We do know that Victoria left after the whole open fire pit thing to go stay at a hotel in Beverly Hills. Yeah, the video is kind of insane. But on top of that, perhaps the reason he was granted a temporary restraining order is because, I guess, a month ago, Victoria was arrested after Tom had basically told the cops that she allegedly hit him. Yeah. So the video shows, I guess TMZ is saying, I didn't see this part, is saying it's showing Will Robinson shove Tom. And then Tom obviously, what is it called? What is it called? Self protects or whatever the term, I can't remember. It's like blanking right now. Obviously he's protecting himself, and then he pushes him back, and then that resorts in Will losing balance and falling into a lit open fire pit. But yeah, Tom also posted pictures of him and his beat up face, and this is the reason why he was granted a temporary restraining order. His eyes was scratched. He had like some bulges on his neck. He did look pretty beat up. It looked like a girl beat him up though. Like, it looked like something had happened, but we still don't understand why the situation has escalated and what has caused them to really get into a tussle. We're speaking of some other tussles. I hate to like use that term frankly, but you all know, like Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union. This is something they've been keeping really much so under wraps. And TMZ is reporting his oldest son, Zaire, was actually busted for felony domestic violence. He's currently in the NBA. So this story by TMZ was also broke over the weekend that Dwayne Wade's son had been arrested for felony domestic violence. Zaire Wade, the NBA Hall of Famer's eldest child, was arrested and booked by the Burbank Police Department on Sunday. So yeah, this came in on Friday, I believe, but this happened over the weekend. So it happened a week ago. He was booked on 3 charges: felony domestic violence, criminal threats, and false imprisonment. And an emergency protective order has been issued. I don't know who his girlfriend is, but he was released later that day after posting a $50K bond. Burbank police were called to a home around 5:30 a.m. on Sunday after receiving a call about a woman screaming. When officers showed up, the outlet reported reports that they found Zaire and a woman with lacerations on her face and body. What is lacertation? Wait a minute, guys. We're doing a quick Google. Is that like whips? Lacertations? Guys, I'm like actually so confused. Yeah, like wounds. Gosh, my goodness. Um, on her face? Yikes. Okay. So, on her face and body, despite her alleged injuries, the woman was reportedly not transported to the hospital. Um, he's not playing pro though. He's not playing basketball currently. Zaire played high school basketball. Yeah, he's not in the NBA. He ultimately turned down going to pro. Okay. Interesting. So that's I haven't Dwayne Wade or Gabrielle Union haven't said anything about that. So that's the latest with that. Um Moving on, we have a highly cited situation going on. I'm going to read this from the Los Angeles Times. A situation, essentially, Kylie Jenner is being sued by her former chef. Just a quick overview of the whole situation. Apparently, this chef was hired from the Kylie Jenner. I don't know if she's been used amongst in the Kardashian clan, but she was hired specifically from Kylie Jenner. She did disclose to Kylie that she was 3 months pregnant at the time and she would need assistance, as you know, especially going along in her pregnancy, that she would need assistance. You know, when you're a chef, you're lifting things, you know, you're running around, you're kind of like a chicken with its head cut off. I don't know if that assistance required a sous chef. I'm going to read the article and we're going to get into it. But ultimately, she is saying that Kylie Jenner's extensive work list and needs basically caused her to miscarry. And she is suing the Kardashians. So let's get into this story. This is by Emily St. Martin. Like I said, this is a highly cited article. She has quotes, she has the affidavit, all of that stuff. So I do want to get into it because this is a pretty interesting story and I feel like a lot of people aren't really talking about it. Like we talked about it for a day, but I'm like, this is actually pretty sick if all of this did happen. So apparently less than 2 months after being sued by two former housekeepers. So that's another thing. Kylie Jenner was recently just sued by two former housekeepers about working conditions. So this seems to be a current pattern about the Jenners, the Kardashians and stuff. So Kylie Jenner has been hit with a third workplace lawsuit. The beauty mogul. Why did I have such a hard time saying mogul? The beauty mogul's former private chef alleges a grueling workload led to her miscarriage. Filed Monday in Los Angeles Superior Court, the complaint alleges the woman routinely worked 11 to 12-hour shifts 5 times a week and was assigned physically demanding tasks despite alerting supervisors at her high risk pregnancy. So it's a whole other thing. It's like she was under a high risk pregnancy. The representative for Jenner did not immediately respond to the Times request for comment. According to the filing reviewed by the Times, the woman was told she was selected to work at Jenner's private chef around Thanksgiving 2024. In early December 2024, the woman claims she informed her supervisors, also named as defendants, that she was 3 months pregnant and required reasonable accommodations. I can't talk today. She received and required reasonable accommodations to protect her health in pregnancy. On New Year's Eve in 2024, supervisors who had allegedly been hostile with the former chef directed her to lift and transport heavy food items across the street and uphill without assistance, the documents say. As a result of the physical exertion, let me pick up my phone and read. As a result of the physical exertion, the former chef claims that she became quote unquote dizzy, began choking and gasping for air, and required assistance from security personnel who intervened by providing water and aid. Around February 1st, 2025, the then chef, 5 months pregnant at the time, was assigned to work Jenner's child's birthday event in Palm Springs where she wasn't provided adequate support despite the scale and demands of the party, according to the lawsuit. The former chef claims that when she asked for help and expressed concern over the workload, she was ignored by supervisors so this is a quote, due to exhaustion and overwhelming physical strain, she broke down emotionally in the bathroom during the event. That evening, she experienced extreme physical exhaustion and heaviness throughout her body as a result of the prolonged and intense workload. The next morning, while the chef was still in Palm Springs, the filing states that she awoke experiencing severe hemorrhaging and drove herself to the emergency room. At the hospital, she was informed that there was no detectable heartbeat and that she had lost her unborn child. According to the former chef, she informed her supervisors of the miscarriage and medical emergency, and in the following days was quote unquote falsely accused of leaving the kitchen and refrigerator in disarray following the Palm Springs event. The court documents claim that the former chef suffered severe hemorrhaging again on February 8th and collapsed in her bathroom. The filing states that after the miscarriage, she suffered severe depression and emotional distress, and claims that a supervisor reprimanded her, saying, "Stop it, just stop it. You are upsetting Kylie. You are making her depressed." Yikes. Celebrity status does not exempt anyone from Okay, so this is the attorney. Celebrity status does not exempt anyone from California's employment laws. We look forward to presenting the evidence in court and allowing the facts to speak for themselves. The former chef is seeking an unspecified amount of damages and claims that in addition to suffering accommodation failures, pregnancy discrimination and harassment, she was misclassified as an independent contractor, did not get paid on time for the appropriate hours she worked, and was wrongfully terminated. After being let go, the former chef claims that she was sent a formal written complaint to co-defendant TriStar detailing the alleged discrimination, harassment, and wage theft. The lawsuit states that on May 22nd, 2025, the management team sent her an email offering a settlement and release statement, essentially offering her money to sign away her right to sue. The legal filing follows two lawsuits brought by former housekeepers of the embattled reality star less than 2 weeks after one woman on Jenner's cleaning staff sued her, claiming her coworkers harassed and discriminated against her. Another housekeeper came forward about allegations claiming the Keeping Up the Kardashian star didn't intervene while she suffered abuse from fellow staff, despite the housekeeper slipping the reality star a letter pleading for help. Wow. Shaker also represents Angela Hernandez Vasquez, who filed the suit. So this same lawyer is representing everyone that's basically on this case. This is honestly a very sad story. A couple of things, a couple of thoughts, because it's obviously what the reality. I want to know why they fired her. Did they fire her because she was unfit to perform her job, because she was depressed? Because you can't obviously fire someone for that. And then also, I don't know, to play devil's advocate just for a second, I don't know why she wouldn't quit after that. I don't know why you would still want to work that and be like, you know what, send me my check, pay me. So a couple of questions in terms of that. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of that, but I am hoping she gets paid because it sounds like a serious situation. And you would think Kylie would know how difficult it is to be pregnant and still working, and you think she would accommodate for her employees or try to get extra help. And it's if you didn't want her to work for you, or did you guys know I don't know if she knew that she was pregnant. I don't know if they would have hired her if she was pregnant, because yeah, that is pregnancy discrimination. But if you do know she's pregnant, I don't know why you were solely relying on this one chef. I definitely think they needed a sous chef situation, because like I said, Kylie, you've been pregnant twice now, and you know how difficult it is to be pregnant and working and still a boss. And for the fellow staff or whoever in charge of the staff, which they are listed as co-defendants, they seem to me that need to be facing the repercussions. Whoever's the HBIC for staff in that house, it seems like they are the ones that are chaotic. I don't know if those are the orders coming down from Kylie. It's always coming down from someone, but it seems as though they are the ones that's moving this whole ship and honestly causing a lot of distress, because we have the two former housekeepers and now we have a former chef that are all alleging these terrible working conditions underneath Kylie Jenner. It's really hard for me to see Kylie as this cruel person with these insane working conditions. The gag is I can see it being Kourtney Kardashian, but for Kylie Jenner to be this person, it's very difficult for me. Is it believable? Yes, because like they said, celebrities are not exempt to terrible behavior and, flawed human beings. But I want to know who is the head on that staff. And other good news before we move on to our reality TV topics, because we have to talk about Atlanta. I have some things I need to say about Atlanta. I want to talk about Rhode Island, and then I want to talk about Love Island, and that's going to be your show. Yolanda Hadid is apparently engaged. This girl, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, this girl, obviously, icon, mother to the icons, Bella and Gigi. You know what's crazy is like we used to say Gigi first. Now I say Bella first. Like it's definitely given like Bella Hadid first. Yeah, she's engaged to some real estate mogul, Randy Kendrick, 2 months after relisting farm where she met ex-fiance. That's one thing about Yolanda. Yolanda will stay engaged and she will stay moving on. So apparently she was just engaged to Joseph Giannoli. They called it quits over a year ago, and now she's already engaged newly to this new guy. I do wonder how that is like being like the Bella, or like not the Bellas, being the Hadids. Like your mom's always like getting engaged. I feel like Yolanda stays in a relationship. Like she's never single. She always is in a relationship. Obviously, infamously, she was with David Foster, and even that relationship was just interesting. Like it seems like they were fine until obviously she got sick and he did not want to put up with it anymore. On the flip side, we know Bella Hadid is like struggling again right now with her unknown sickness. And it's not even to say like in a negative thing. It's just like a lot of people are saying in the comments, like, do you have the same sickness your mom does, Munchausen's, when it's like it's kind of like you're making it up. I talked about this in one of my episodes, how I think it's so weird to post when you're sick. Like, I think it's so attention grabbing. And Bella Hadid always is posting when she's sick or when she's on her deathbed, literally in the hospital. I do think it's very interesting. It's like, girl, we get it. Like, why are you posting this? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I want to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta because that's very fresh on my mind as we move from Housewives. I'm trying to make sure I touched on everything. Let's talk about this reunion seating chart. And also, of course, I just have to throw in there, apparently, Taylor and Travis Kelce are going to get married at Madison Square Garden. Like, that is the most trashiest wedding ever. Like, honestly, it's going to be so trashy. But because it's like, why are you getting married at a stadium where people go to like watch basketball games and stuff, and like people performing concerts? Like it's like the most utmost crazy thing. And apparently it's supposed to be getting married next week during 4th of July. And I'm also like, I just don't want to get married like during a major holiday, like at all. Other than that, I want to talk about this Real Housewives of Atlanta seating chart, and then we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta because this episode was really good to me. It kicked off the episode of Scotland. I'm really glad that I was able to recap it before I'm out, but it makes sense because they're going to be out as well. So everything's really like wrapping up perfectly. So obviously we have Andy, HBIC, HHIC, the head housewife in charge, and then the first seats, like honestly, I was not shocked. Obviously, Portia is going to be on the first seat. She's on the left side of the couch. For the right side, I was really anticipating Shamea to be the first seat. So I am shocked that it was K Michelle. So it goes Portia, Cynthia, Angela, Drew, Phaedra. I think that's a really good left side. Obviously, Cynthia comes out for the second half of it. When honestly, Cynthia should be there the whole time. So when Cynthia is not there, it is Angela sitting next to Portia. On the right side of the couch, we have K Michelle, Kelly, Shamea, Pinky, Cole. I mean, honestly, I think that's a really good right side of the couch. I personally probably would have put Shamea first. Again, I think it should have been Shamea, Kelly, and then I for real would have put Pinky and K Michelle last. Obviously, it's K Michelle, so they're never gonna put K Michelle last because it's like K Michelle. But it's like honestly, when we're judging it based on performance, did K Michelle deserve the first seat at her first reunion? No. Has it been done when a newbie gets a first seat though? Yes, it has been done, which is why I was shocked that it's being done for K Michelle. I don't think she deserve the first seat because she really has not been engaging this season. In the words of Meredith Marks, she has chosen to disengage. I don't know if it's to stop herself from, saying the wrong stuff or for overly reacting how she's normally used to reacting. But do I think she deserved the first seat? No, I don't think she did. I would have put Shamea there, especially because everyone is obsessed with Shamea. And you know what? I am going to go out on a whim and say we're going to watch the audience kind of flip by the end of the season in support of Shamea. The fans are very wish-washy. I've caught it from the beginning. I've said that I don't think Shamea deserves nearly half the hate she is getting. I think in the words of Candace Dillard, the line is always moving, and we're literally, quite frankly, seeing these women rally around Portia constantly, and kind of turn a blind eye to what's being done to Shamea, which is Angela and her lies. Let's get into this recent episode. The ladies are embarking on their mission to Scotland. Are there Black people in Scotland? I don't know. Would I go to Scotland? No, that's not on my list of things to do. Is to go to Scotland. However, I'm kind of glad. Like that, I love a good castle, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love a good castle vacation. Um, Let me see what's in my notes for this episode. So the ladies are embarking on their mission to Scotland. And honestly, the episode starts off kind of heated. So Angela and Shamea are still like having their issues. Like I said, I posted a TikTok. I was like, I need Andy to ask, what is y'all's issue? Because I still don't know what the issue is. It's honestly driving me insane. It's been a couple of episodes now, and I'm like, it was funny, key like in the beginning, but I'm like, honestly, Angela, what is your issue with Shamea, what is your issue with Angela? Because like the Sasquatch, the Shamina, like it's just like, I get it, but it's like, what is y'all's root of the issue? Because I will continue to say, I don't understand how Angela is able to move on from the whole tomfoolery of what Portia was saying about screwing Charles Oakley, and now you've had this woman around your husband who she has said she fully intended on screwing if you don't stop playing with her. And she's around him in her two pieces and everything. She's being a little promiscuous. I hate to use the term, but I'm sorry. Portia's a little promiscuous when it comes to being around married men. That's how I generally feel when she's around men, period. Anyone that she think might be cute. I mean, she pulled up to that gaming event, the charity event that was going to be in honor of her mom, Angela's mom, and it was like a Cynthia Bailey Q thing or whatever. It was like a collab or whatever. And she showed up in this two piece. I just thought, I'm like, for basketball, I'm just like, Portia, like, put a top on. Like, your breasts are popping out. You thought there was going to be some NBA players here. You thought there was going to be some numbers here. And it's just so, to me, such a pick-me vibe. Like, I'm like, Portia, put your tatas away. Like, I get it. They are happy. Whereas I'm thinking Wendy. Aren't they Coco and Chanel? I'm just saying, like, put your breast away. Like, it's just such pick me behavior to me. It's very such pick me behavior. I digress. The Angela and Shamea thing, though, I need Andy to ask, what is the issue? Obviously, it already passed. So I hope he asked the questions I wanted him to ask, because I'm very confused at what the issue is. Angela is caught lying again. So we know she has lied last season about the whole Phaedra being a godfather, which honestly led to an amazing tagline. Some, like others, like some may know me as the Godfather. It's a really good tagline. I can't remember what Phaedra's tagline is, but that's all coming from at the heels of last season, where this man came to an event that Kelly was having at Nana's Chicken and Waffles, and basically alleging that Charles is cheating on Angela. It was very random, and then out of nowhere, there was an investigation done, and apparently the investigation was that Phaedra was the one that had set this whole situation up. I think based on how Phaedra has acted in the past, I think that Angela definitely tried to piggyback from that. She's like, you clearly can't be trusted. Like, you've done stuff in the past. So of course you would do this to me. And she was kind of using it, or like alluding to the whole Candy and Phaedra of it all. She was saying, you've done this before, this is what you do. But it really fell short, so much so that Drew, your friend, even thought it fell short. She was like, it made no sense. Ends up contacting the guy. The guy says it was Phaedra. She says she didn't even know this man. Reunion comes. Phaedra's name is clear. Like, she's like, I really have no idea where this is coming from, like, at all. Like, I don't, take me out the group chat. Instance number one, where Angela is caught in a weird lie. And it was very weird. It was towards the end of the season. And I say that to say we find ourselves at the end of the season, and we're seeing some other lies being formed. So the second and third lies was basically that, Shamea be having sex with everyone on the Atlanta Hawks and the Atlanta Falcons. And so those are two separate lies. So not only are you lying, you're saying that she's cheating on her husband. Now you're saying she is cheating on her husband by having an affair with a whole NFL team and a whole NBA team. So you're at like 3 lies right now. So now we have the fourth lie. Or should I like lump the basketball team and stuff together? Because things do happen in threes. We'll keep it at 3 lies. So basically, the most recent lie is that she is screwing this guy named George. She is effing George. And who is George? In the words of Nene Leakes, who is Todd? Who is George? George is this, I guess, insurance handler. That's what it's giving, or attorney, that basically helps you, like, if you're in an issue, like you need cash, get cash. It looks like he's like this insurance guy. I don't know what he is. He has an occupation of some sort of dealing with cash, and a lot of the women in Atlanta know him. They were like, okay. The gag is George and his wife Ashley apparently live next door to Angela and Charles Oakley. So, I mean, they have to be doing well for themselves, right? The other gag is that George and Shamea go way back, and I guess George has donated to Shamea's charity, and I think he also has something to do with like the Fox, the Fox. I just literally combined the two, the Falcons or the Hawks. Like, I don't know, like, apparently George is on a bunch of billboards in Atlanta, you guys. Like, I don't know his occupation, but you know how Atlanta is. You know what, I'm going to Atlanta. I will let you know if I see George on a billboard, because I don't know who this George is, but the girls of Atlanta know who George is. Like, he be helping the folks get the cash, essentially. So that's what he's doing. He gave some cash to Shamea for her charity, and I'm pretty sure this is her charity with for her daughter Shiloh. The disorder, or the birthing disorder she ended up having, and she still is getting a bunch of testing and stuff done. So I'm pretty sure it's for that charity for her daughter. Angela had a conversation with George, or I don't even know, was this a conversation or is this totally fabricated? Because it looks totally fabricated. She basically had a conversation with George and was like trying to get dirt on Shamea, and basically trying to talk to his wife too, Ashley, trying to get dirt on Shamea. And I guess George had alluded or said something to the terms of like, oh, she's so fine, I had to pay her. Angela received that as so you're effing her. No one told her that. And I don't even know if this is like factual, of this guy saying, oh, she's so fine, I had to pay her. I don't even know if that's really happened, because now I'm learning with Angela is like, she honestly embellishes stories a lot. And it's like, now it's like, I don't even know if this guy really said that. It's giving, you're saying that. She's so fine, I had to pay her. Like, honestly, it's kind of realistic if he is like, she's so fine, I had to pay her, and it's giving like, I had to pay her. Like, she's so fine, I had to pay her. Obviously, first, like, you're a married man, like, you shouldn't be saying that. But you know how uncle daddies and old heads be. They'd be like, oh, she's so fine, like, I had to pay her. Like, let me make sure I'm like not muted, you guys. Oh, she's so fine, I had to pay her. You know how old heads and uncle daddies are. Like, they're so creepy with young, hot women. Not even young, just hot women. It's a thing. It's a weird thing. So that's why I'm like, that's not shocking to me that he would be like, she's so fine, I had to pay her. Or maybe I had to give something to her charity. I don't know, but it is on camera with her receiving this I think it was a $3,000 check for her charity from this man. Fast forward to that whole situation. We don't know if it's happened or not. Apparently, Angela was calling around to get some information on Shamea, and she contacted Ashley, and Ashley is George's wife. And now Shamea has brought this up at the table, like, you're literally calling around Atlanta to try to get dirt on me, like Ashley told me. And she's like, I didn't say. And she was basically saying how, oh my gosh, like, I swear, whenever like life's lifing, I get a freaking notification I have a dentist appointment. Like, I'm just like, great. I'm like, when was my last one? And I won't even really be here for it because I will be out of town. I will literally be out of town. And like, why? Okay. So she basically brings it up and is like, you're calling around town to get dirt on me. And it is very odd. Fast forward to that, like, we go back and forth. Shamea gets a text message from Ashley, and she's like, hey, call me when you get the chance. Angela's lying on your name real bad, basically. She contacts Ashley, or she's texting Ashley, and Ashley's like, I didn't know you guys had a problem. She called asking for information about you, all of this stuff. So Shamea has the hard proof evidence that Angela's lying. She reads these, and I guess Angela hears, Angela's activated. I don't know. Angela was very activated this episode, I will say. She was very activated. So that happens. Angela ends up calling Ashley, and she's basically like, I just want to clear it up. Like, did I call you? And then Ashley's like, you okay, keep in mind, Portia and Phaedra are in the room at this point. And she's like, you did call me looking for information with Shamea. I did not know you guys had a problem, and I told you that was not my business at all, and I was not going to be put in the middle. And then she was like, I never told you that she slept with George. And then Angela was like, no, like, I never even said that. Like, we never even talked about sex. And then it's like, run the clip back. 10 minutes ago at dinner, you alluded to Shamea screwing George with that whole thing. She was like, we never even talked about sex. And I said, and even if I brought that up, I never said it came from you. And then Ashley was like, yeah, because that's not true. That's not what happened. And Angela was like, literally embarrassed on the phone, because keep in mind, Portia and Phaedra are in the room tapping each other like, like, this is the real whatever. It's not lost on me that, Shamea totally has a breakdown in her room. She's like, she's literally lying on my marriage and my career now. Like, she's going to keep making up stuff. And then Portia's like, okay, I'm going to tell her to go stop. Like, Portia actually does talk to Shamea. She's like, I'm going to go tell her to stop. This is like too much. And that's when her and Phaedra are in Angela's room, and they're like tapping each other. And it's like, oh, so she was calling around. It's kind of like you're seeing that Angela's lying. Basically, the phone call ends with Angela not even wanting Ashley to keep talking. She's like, okay, I'm gonna just, she said, I'll talk to you later, Ashley, and Arlay will be over to play, which is one of her kids. And then she just hangs up. It's very weird, and she was caught in a lie. And it's really bad on Twitter. So let me show you guys what she literally tweeted, because it's very bad. It is very bad. It's catching up with her, honestly. I bookmark what she had said because she was really quiet this episode, and I'm like, girl, why are you so quiet? She said, facts matter. I was just having a private chat with my neighbor. It wasn't my intention to bring it to the group, and I didn't. Someone else chose to introduce it here, I assume, to create the narrative we've seen tonight. Truth will be revealed. Hashtag trust the process. I don't know. Like I said, it looked really bad. It looked really bad on Angela. And I was just like, Angela, are you really this thirsty? In the words of Nene, you never win when you play dirty. And I fear that Angela's trying to play dirty. So what is Angela's issue now with Shamea? Angela is now finding out that Shamea made a comment towards her daughter about her daughter being a lot nicer than her mom. I did think for you to say that to someone's daughter, it was a lot. It's like, you is my mom's op, and you saying, oh, you're much friendlier than your mom. Obviously, it's like a quick gag. It's like a quick, like, shady, messy thing. But do I think she should have addressed Armani? I don't think so. I just think you could have, like, left that alone. But now Angela's ammunition for this whole thing, the reason she is now really reaching into the deep dark pits of hell to get back at Shamea is because of what she said at her daughter suddenly. And she's like, why would you say I'm mean to my daughter? And it's like, I get it. Like, why are you saying that? Like, why are you doing all this extraness? And Shamea admitted it. She's like, I'm sorry if I said that to your daughter then. But that is now why Angela apparently has made up this whole thing. It kind of makes you question, though, like, if Ashley wasn't so willing to hop on the camera, and I'm not even willing, but willing to clear her name, would Angela have ran with this again toward the reunion? It very much flopped. A lot of the audience even heard a tweet that. A lot of the audience is like, Angela, why would you lie about that? I don't believe her about the fox. I keep saying fox because it's the Falcons and the Hogs. I don't believe her about that. I don't believe her about this because the Ashley girl just cleared it up. She's like, Angela, I never said that to you. Like, what are you talking about? So that was very embarrassing. You can tell Angela was definitely trying to create another narrative. And she rode in the car with Portia and Phaedra, and it's not lost on me that she's like, yeah, I'm glad you guys were there to see my side of the story. It's just like also upsetting because of what she said to my daughter. And then Phaedra's like, well, what did she say to your daughter? And now it's like, oh, like this is the only reason I made up this lie because she said this to my daughter, which is not true. Angela, it's not looking great for you. It's not looking good. And this happened last season. You were on a high and then you depleted when you started this whole thing with Phaedra, and it's like she's doing the same thing. We're at the end of the season. It's like you're making up very dangerous lies. The only reason I now genuinely believe that it's probably necessary, Shamea has sent a cease and desist. That's another reason I probably think she's lower on the totem pole for the reunion, is because she sent Angela a cease and desist. She did announce that on the Angela Yee Breakfast, well, it's not the Breakfast Club, the Angela Lee Yee morning show. She did an interview and she said she did have to send a cease and desist because she's now playing with her career and, her marriage. And it's like, I get it. It's like, you know what? You actually don't know what you're talking about. I'm about to hit you with this cease and desist. It's honestly sad, but it's also just like, we can't keep doing this. Like, these lies are getting dangerous. And I will say, in Shamea's defense, the line is always moving. It seems as though Portia and Phaedra sat in that room on mute, but in their confessionals truly did not believe Angela's lies. None of the women did. Pinky Cole didn't believe it. Kay Michelle didn't believe it. Cynthia did not believe it. And I thought that was another big thing. It's like none of the women truly believed it, but no one sang anything in the scene. And it just shows how divided this group is and how quick and thirsty everyone is to really suck Portia's tits. Like, honestly, can we please get off her tits? Like, it's so freaking annoying. Like, it's so clear you guys have all aligned yourself on Portia's team. And because now Portia is not cool with Shamea, it has become a thing of it's become a whole thing. It's become a whole huge thing of like, let's invalidate whatever Shami is saying, whether she's right or wrong. Like, we don't care. We're just gonna invalidate it, and it's very annoying. That was perhaps the biggest thing that happened in this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Obviously, we have Shamea and K Michelle, they finally squashed their beef. And Shamea addressed Binky Cole. She was like, I didn't like you dogpiling because I was getting a lot of heat in that moment. And then it's like, for you to just like dogpile and then bring up something, there's no issue with me and K Michelle. Me and K Michelle have no issue. This one, K Michelle actually does like speak up. She's like, we actually did have an issue. She's like, I don't need to, and I did appreciate K Michelle saying this. There's certain people, she's like, I don't need to constantly be reminded of the fact that you're doing me a favor as my friend by being my friend, or the fact that you have to sacrifice so much to be my friend. That's what she says in her confessional. And then she did tell her in the scene, like, she's like, I don't understand why you even brought them up. I didn't even bring them up. Because I guess there's a thing when like K Michelle brings up Shamea's friends, and then Shamea feels the need that she has to like literally defend the friends or whatever. Regardless, they were able to squash it. And I'm really seeing Pinky Cole in this group as a very good peacemaker obviously is Cynthia Jr. right now, but a housewife. She doesn't have any active ongoing beefs with anyone. You know, she squashed it with Angela, and she's really able to like mend the girls' fences and like honestly play on both sides and really just like deliver a good sweet note to both sides of the group because it's really necessary and needed. Other than that, the episode ended with a lot of the girls rallying. What I did find interesting is the two girls that were most at odds that weren't in that room was Shamea and Angela. And Shamea is Kelly's best friend, but she was not in that room. Kelly had came in in Phaedra's room. And obviously Drew has seen the blogs about, her ex, Kelly's ex, suing Bravo for $200 million. I just love how Cynthia's like, you're not gonna get that, dude. You're not gonna get it. And then it caused Kelly to break down. And what we learn is that he only did that because he got served. He had just most likely had just gotten served from Kelly and Phaedra and all of that. And so he wanted to react and he wanted to essentially, show his full bald head. I don't know. It really, for some reason, caused the girls to like really rally around Kelly and just really want to be there for her. And then I kind of saw something too because Drew was like, I'm just worried about my house situation too. And it was a nice moment. Even Portia like prayed over them. Portia and Kelly decided to Portia and Phaedra prayed over them, but Portia kind of decided to be like, look, like it doesn't matter where you end up living, it's still going to be a home with your kids and you. And you can tell, obviously we're going to probably talk about it more at the reunion about Drew and, her whole wins and non-wins when it came to the whole legal divorce and the divorce filings and the proceedings and everything, and like how much Dennis had to play into it, which he did not like being mentioned in the caption in that way. But I think in terms of like seeing Drew, I kind of lost my track of mind because I'm like, I can't believe I've been talking about Atlanta for like 20 minutes. It was a really good episode. I think we kind of see Drew kind of break down. She's like, I'm like nervous about the house. And obviously we know now she didn't really get the house. She didn't get the house at all. So, Ralph was granted with it. But it was a nice kumbaya. And like I said, it wasn't lost on me that the two were in so much heat. I don't think Pinky was in that room either. But Angela and Shamea were not in that room. And I think it was probably best for Kelly to be in that room without Shamea so she could form some friendships away from Shamea. And I even think it was interesting how Portia's like, I love how Shamea's been there for you. I think it is beautiful. But no, you have other sisters in this group. And yeah, I thought it was a really strong way to start this cast episode. Obviously, the next episode of this cast trip, obviously, the next episode we have Shamea and Portia finally addressing it, and it looks like they're talking about the mothers. Other than that, a very good episode. I did want to move on to Rhode Island and Love Island. Rhode Island, they closed out their second episode, and I will say my MVP of the first season, well, first of all, there are rumors and nastiness that Liz is not returning. Honestly, it would not be shocking. Apparently, people have been coming to her house nonstop, trying to see the house. The house is gorgeous. And then second of all, I could see if she had a difficult time going from fan favorite to villain, but I think she should just tap into the villain, just like I think Joe Ellen's probably going to tap into the villain. Okay, so my MVP of this whole season was obviously Rosie. I really liked Rosie, and I caught it from the beginning that I would like her. I think like Joe Ellen, it's a lot. It's a lot. I will say it's a lot to be this heavily invested into someone's relationship that's not your own. I think Rula clearly doesn't care about the timelines. The fact that you have more timelines than her is honestly scary to me. Rula couldn't even answer you guys where like when her wedding date. Like, is that not bizarre? And it's like she wouldn't say it. So I'm like, are they legally married? But I'm like, Joellen, I hope you're getting paid extra next season for all this digging and investigating you're doing. Like, you need to be getting paid extra, because if you're not getting paid extra, why not? Because you need to be on Bravo's payroll for real, as one of the investigators. You do. I'm sure Joellen could have found out that Amanda and Wes were having a secret affair before all of us years ago. Rula cannot answer her wedding date. She cannot answer when Brian got divorced. There's definitely an overlap with the Spanish teacher, Alicia's Spanish teacher. There's an overlap, and she could not answer it. And Joellen could answer it better. Some other things, just talking about the episode. I don't like how Alicia plays into this. I'm not interested in learning about my finances. And I think even Andy, he's kind of like, you should probably want to learn that. And then the thing is, like, we even have Billy coming on. He gives you 50% of shares of Pizza Mama on content that you literally just take your daughter dance lessons. Like, it's like Alicia doesn't want to grow up. Like, Alicia's like totally fine staying in this small bubble, but it's like you complain that you're not getting XYZ, but then it's like he's offering it to you on a silver platter. But it's like you just got to kind of use your brain. Her acting and playing dense, like, oh, I don't want to go to an attorney meeting. Oh, I don't want to learn from the lawyers. Like, I think it's really oh gosh, I think it's really, my friend is crazy. I think it's really interesting how she like plays like, oh, I don't know, like I just don't, I can't bother to like learn about this stuff. And it's like, girl, your literally whole financial future isn't a trust. You don't even know what a trust is. And it's like the fact that Rula has to explain it to you, like, I'm so glad she explained it, because I didn't even know what a trust was. But I'm like, Rula's actually trying to help you. And it's like you could be so much further removed, and you're so disinterested in even learning the optics about your finances. And so it's like, I don't want to see you on Instagram. And I'm glad Andy brought this up about someone, about Alicia's recent post. And I remember seeing this. She was like, it was something along the lines of like, do you think it's okay if you help kind of build like the likeliness or something of a brand, and you're only getting under like 15% share? Like, it was under, like, you're not even getting 10% shares of a company. So she's admitted she was upset in the moment, and she just posted that, and she like took it down like 5 minutes later. Like, she's like, she shouldn't have done that. But it's like, obviously, the Bravo audience is going to do it. But Billy was just like laughing. But the thing is, like, Billy, I honestly don't even think Billy's trying to scam her out of anything. I just think she really needs to educate herself on her finances, and she shouldn't really rely on him for everything, especially as Andy said, like, you're about to be making like the most money you've ever made probably in your life, especially if you continue on as a housewife in this traction trajectory. My words are mangled today. I don't know. I just feel like Alicia, I gotta give up the act, and that's why I'm gonna be really upset if Liz doesn't come back. But that's why I was I saw Liz kind of getting annoyed with Alicia throughout the season. It's kind of hard with Alicia, and you guys are gonna start getting annoyed with it. You're gonna start getting annoyed. Like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Alicia's my favorite. Her act though is kind of annoying. I hope Liz comes back, but I understand Liz taking it to the ego. Didn't know that Dolores had beef with Rosie. That's why Dolores is claiming she wasn't in as many scenes, because she says that Rosie was controlling scenes and stuff. That is something a lot of the women have said. They said that Rosie has pulled a lot of ties. I don't know if it's because Rosie is has worked in the entertainment and knows probably a lot of production companies, and maybe she did get more of a favorable edit, but I don't even think it's that favorable, because like, it's so clear that everyone does not like her. But Dolores is now saying the reason she wasn't in as many scenes and why she wasn't filming was because her and Rosie did not get along. And Rosie basically was like, do I control anything? And Annie's like, no. So I don't know. I do think that's kind of like interesting that Dolores, a seasoned housewife, is like, I wasn't a part of this group as much as I would have liked, because Rosie is puppeteering behind the scenes. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if I believe it. What else happened? Besides the whole Joellen having a whole timeline on Rula, and then the men coming out, there's discrepancies between when he stopped seeing the mistress and she didn't know it was October. It's sounding on the bright side, Rula is like one of the only people on the cast that has a prenup. So at least she has a prenup. I don't see how Rula wants to stay with him. Like, girl, I think she is realizing in like slow time, like maybe this isn't the hill I should die on. Like maybe I should divorce this man that's like constantly cheating on me, because the facts aren't the facts. This man is constantly lying to her. And I don't know. I think she should definitely divorce him. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. Um Jerry, Liz's Jerry, he did confirm that Brian was on the phone to say the rumors that Liz was apparently like making out with some guy. And Marula had no clue. Marula doesn't know a lot about what Brian got going on. I want her to leave him. I want her to leave him. I got like 10 minutes left, and I'm just doing total spitfire right now for Love Island USA. I do not give an F. What did Casey say? I don't give an F. I do not give an F about Aniyah's tears. I really do not. I think they're manipulative. I think they're performative. And I think she should perhaps go on Love is Blind. I think this isn't the show for you. Let's cut the BS. You never liked Casey. Y'all were coupled up by default. Surely some attraction can grow, because people have recently pointed out, you know what, Cordell and Serena coupled up out of default. She was not standing for Cordell, right? Okay, you got me there. Other than that, I say default because I don't genuinely see any. They've never. I'm so sick. This season of Love Island, honestly, in my opinion, has been one of the worst seasons, because I've seen a bunch of people try to form connections that just ain't cut out, and that's why I'm like, I can't even fault Kenzie girl, because at least she is trying it. At least she is playing the game. At least she is like, if this man don't work, let me go get another one, right? Because that's the way you're supposed to do it. I've watched Trinity and Bryce try to act like they have chemistry. I've seen a literal marshmallow and a graham cracker for a s'more have more chemistry than them. Zach and Kata, I don't know how many times, Kata, this man has to tell you, I'm not interested in doing anything other than what we're doing. And then you're constantly giving him some action on TV, but you're the big one. Melanie, you are constantly giving the best advice to your girls, and I will say you give really good advice, but you suck at taking it. Sincere is the type of man to just cheat to cheat. Don't even feel nothing for the girl he's cheating on with. It's one thing to emotionally cheat. Um, it's one thing to really emotionally cheat, because like, damn, I actually have a connection with this person and I actually can see a future with them, but I don't want to leave my past behind. I don't want to leave the current person I love so much. But Sincere don't even give an F about these women. He is genuinely just doing it to cheat. Are they together? No. But he's just doing it because he's bored. And I think those are the worst type of men. When it's like you just doing some stuff because you're bored. Those are the most dangerous type of men to me. I don't understand why Mel and Sincere together. And I'm hoping, I'm seeing Mel kind of, I think she might Liberty the situation. If you guys watch Love Island UK, when Liberty and Jake were just constantly going through adversary, and he was constantly just doing dumb stuff or constantly trying to explore, and it's like, but you telling her one thing, it's like you just constantly ready to leave her at any moment, right, to go explore, to go see if the grass is green on the other side. And Liberty ends up leaving the edge. That actually made me cry. What season was that? I think it was season 6. It could be season 6 or 7. And it made me cry because she gave like the best speech. She had walked in so bubbly, and she had ended up leaving that villa so bubbly, but throughout her experience you could see her spark literally losing from dealing with this stuff. And I'm seeing that happen with Mel and Sincere. I'm seeing Melanie's spark completely disappear every single day. And I think for her, she's like, wow, like you didn't come back with anyone, but you probably should have came back with someone, so that it kind of would have been worth it, you know? So it's like, you're just doing this stuff to just do it. You know, when I'm not there, you just gonna do some effed up stuff just to do it. And it's not even like you even care about these people you're doing it to. You didn't care about Soul, and you didn't care about Amora. And now Amora's back and Carl's back. I honestly voted for Corey to come back because I was like, I wanted Melanie to explore that man. I don't think Carl should even be interested in Aniyah, but I will say the season of Love Island has been so clear that production has their favorites, and it is Aniyah, and it's Trinity, it is Bryce. I Trinity and Bryce are winning. I hate to say it, they're winning. I see no chemistry with them. I think Trinity was overly performative with her whole speech to Casey. I don't like that this black man is getting all of this heat. And I said it from the jump. He was damned if he did. He was damned if he didn't. I don't even think you both even liked each other. You were both on survival mode. There was no one coming in the villa. We've had 4 bombshells. And USA and UK are very differently. UK, they're like on their 11th, 12th bombshell. And they haven't even been to Casa yet. At least from what I'm watching. It's been at least like, I think it's been like 8 to 10 people, bombshells that have came in and bombed the shells, right? I think Casey and Aniyah have literally been in survivor mode just to make it, honestly, quite frankly, to cause some more, because there has been no one else. I blame Aniyah for picking wrong. If you weren't physically attracted to Carl, why keep him? You should have went with someone else. But I really don't care about her tears. It's a lot. It's a lot. No one's laughing at you. They're laughing at the fact it's like you're talking about us for 3 days when you're tripping over this man. You're tripping with him after 3 days. And it's like Trinity, Bryce, y'all was both tripping over each other for 3 days. So that argument makes no sense to me. And it's like, honestly, let me laugh. Let me have a good kiki. I just got into it with 10 other girls. Let me have a good live kiki. I think this whole clear angle of trying to make Casey this black man is this terrible guy. You know what? I will give it to production. I'm glad it's not a black woman this year, but it is unfortunate that it's like, why is it every year on Love Island our biggest villain has to be a black person? When we have Sincere in there, we have Zach in there, we have some people in there that are pretty crappy. And it's like now all of a sudden, and I can't believe I'm defending Corbin. And then you know what's even more sick? And I'm going to post a video. I've taken down my last 2 videos because the fandom has been insane. They've caught me a bird for defending Casey and Marseille Martin. This is my other thing. You're coming for actual celebrities, Marseille Martin, Chloe Bailey, Lizzo, because we're all like, we don't understand it. And it's like to have Megan Thee Stallion come on, which I normally look forward to her on Love Island. She came on last season, so I was excited that she's coming back on. To have her come on and there's this clear agenda to attack Casey and make it seem like he's been this total disrespectful person when he really hasn't. Has he? He could have went about some things a better way for sure. Like there was some unnecessary comments made about Aniyah, but in terms of how he did it, coming back and coupling up with TT, I don't think that was disrespectful. And he wants to talk to you away from your friends because it's like, just like you guys say, he's a grown man. He can talk for himself. Aniyah, you're a grown woman who can talk to herself. I think Anaya's very insecure. I think she's upset that her hairstylist canceled on her last minute because it's very clear because you're constantly pointing out that TZ is the Fulani braid bitch. Like, I'm just like, it was giving you were supposed to have Fulani braids. And then even aside from that, the Love Island stands, they just don't know what side they want to be on. You claim misogyny, narcissism, gaslighting, all this stuff. You're like, we're defending men, but then you're literally turning these posts of TT standing with Casey, switching her clothes to Casey's clothes and putting Casey in a dress, and then having Beatrice throwing a leg at her. You are literally using AI to make the most outlandish photos of TT and Casey. It's honestly insane to me. And it's like a fandom you just really don't want to touch ever since season 6. It's a fandom you really don't want to touch. That's my words for that. I do want to give a shout out to, and I think everyone should read this, and I think this perfectly sums up how I feel. There's been a couple of videos I've seen that definitely explain how I feel. But it was this post specifically that did a whole expose on the KC discourse. And this was actually from a writer. This is from Randall Barnes. He posted this on Twitter, and it was an amazing read. And it's honestly literally my sentiments on the whole situation. When we have people like Sincere in the house who quite frankly ain't nothing, ain't shit. And then you have someone like Casey who has said constantly that I am going to explore, and he's done exactly that. Like I said, there were some things he did say in the Casamore I feel like were unnecessary. But like when we look at it, I think he thought Casamore was barber talk. And it's like some things you just should have, I would have put a lid on that. I wouldn't have expressed everything. um when you in the barbershop, you talking shit. So it's like when you go to the hair salon and get your hair done. So some things were not favorable. I think the only disrespectful thing like I can remember that he's genuinely said was that me and Aniyah have nothing in common. And then, also when the pictures came back and he saw her kissing Carl and they were like, do you feel a type of way? He was like, no. And then, okay, maybe there is a list of things he's kind of done. He doesn't feel any type of way, but they were like, are you happy for her? And he was like, nah. I'm like, but I think he was just being petty. I think the only thing that's kind of like, I'm like, oh, I didn't like what you said. Because I don't even think the two things he said, like, no, I'm not happy for her. I think it was after what he said. And he's like, I'm not happy for her. I was continually pouring life into her. And I always was pouring into her cup. And I was just like, that sounds a little dickish. But on the flip side, he's like, she was never pouring into mine. He was like, I was constantly reassuring that girl. And then he was like, she's on a thin line with me. And so I don't know, maybe that's what the most disrespectful thing he said. Other than that, I think he's kept it a bug. They were like, do you miss Aniyah? He's like, no. He's like, what do you have in common with her? Nothing. I that's all I really think. I don't know. I think Aniyah should get off because it's embarrassing at this point. So obviously Carl and Morris coming back, and I'm excited to see the script flip. And I want Melanie to leave alone. I don't want her to leave with Sincere. I do think it's time that she wakes it fully up because you can tell she's getting there where she's kind of like, she's like, I'm kind of sick of you always disrespecting me just to disrespect me. Like, are you serious? So I don't know, amazing 3 episodes. I won't be on next Toxic Tuesday, but I will be on the following. I'm going to be creating some TikToks. I don't know, it's a tough crowd over there. I have some sentiments and thoughts to share about the whole Shamea Angela thing. I'm definitely going to share my opinion on that. And yeah, it seems as though the tide is turning a little bit when it comes to the whole Casey discourse. So maybe I can share my opinion now. But the people, the Love Island fandom, touch grass. The finale is July 12th. This will be over. And then we will welcome a new batch of Islanders. Shout out to Alandria at the BET Awards and her little cameo. She was looking for her seat, and Drewski's like, help find shit to her seat. He was like, that's some amazing chocolate. And it's like, I just love that Alandria's winning. I don't know if I can say that for any of the girls coming out. I think they're really positioning Trinity to be the next girl, but when I tell you I'm so disinterested in Trinity and her performativeness, and like also like Bryce, you're so messy because Casey never said all of that, and that's the only reason Trinity is like so mad at him. But I am ready for the season to be up and through, and I'm about to finish my Love Island UK in peace. But I will see you guys in 2 weeks. In a week, kind of, but it's like 2 weeks because I'm not recording. But happy 4th of July to all those that celebrate or whatever. I will be reporting live, maybe not live, but I will be updating guys on Nana's Chicken and Waffles, the Hot Dog Factory, and of course, Slutty Vegan. I'm actually about to look up the menu now because I have to try it. And I have to try Papa Do's. Guys, I'm only going for 3 days. Like, what am I going to do eating all this food? But, oh my gosh. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for listening. If you have not followed the show, make sure you follow it wherever you listen to: Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Give me a like, give me a 5-star rating. Please, 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 let's spam it up. I'll see you guys later. Until the next time.